Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to channel a topic which I don't know yet. Basically, I'm going to go blind. Bean is going to come through and introduce a topic to you. So I have Roman here today with me and Elena Lakshmi. They have agreed to accompany me in this session. So they will ask you, the Bean questions pertaining to the topic. So hi, Roman.
Hi, Momita. Hi, Lena. Good to be here. Thank you.
Hi, Lena.
We're
You are
joining
on
from
mute.
Canada.
Lena, you're on mute.
Yes, now I'm here. Hello, everyone.
We have
We're
also
joining from
people.
Canada.
Yeah, great to have you here. So, Roman, you ready? Should I start the channeling?
Yes, for sure. I'm ready.
All right. I'll see you at the end. Good evening. We are Michael, and today is a glorious day. Today is a joyous day for the country that this channel is in. Celebrated independence yesterday. And we would like to use this opportunity to speak about what true independence, true freedom feels like. So what does freedom mean? Freedom of action, freedom to do anything, freedom to get whatever you want, freedom to move, freedom to dance, freedom to experience joy without any limitations. Now, many humans right now on this planet are experiencing what we term as the veil of limitations. What do we mean by that? Many humans have lost their jobs. Many humans are changing jobs. Many humans have left their job and deciding to do something different, and things are not working out. Those who are still doing the job are very unhappy with the situation at workplaces right now. Things have not been the same ever since 2020, after COVID, as you all know and may have noticed. All of you have gone through collective speeding up of your life themes, Many of you have raised your vibrations, which is why you are experiencing a sudden speeding up of time. Time is moving fast for many of you. For some of you, time is not moving linearly. Yesterday may feel like 1 year back, yet 3 months back may feel like 2 hours. So this is how non-linearity of time shows up. Because as you know, every experience that you're having, every moment that you have is non-linear. You are matching vibrations with whichever version of you is the closest vibrational match to you. And that is not happening linearly like it used to before 2020. Earlier, most of you were vibrating much slower. Most of you were stuck in your belief system. Change was very random and less obvious. But since most of you have collectively moved to a higher vibration, you are not following your linear path in linear timeline. You are skipping and jumping different timelines, which is why these moments feel very different, which is why time is not flowing linearly for some of you. The more you do inner work, those who are doing inner work, any kind of therapy, any kind of inner healing, shadow work, those who are truly experiencing changes within themselves, you will not experience time linearly anymore because you are jumping timelines. And some of those points in time were probably 2 hours away from you from manifesting. Some of them would have manifested 1 year later. Some of them would have manifested 1 month later, but now you're jumping based on how much you are modulating your frequency based on the changes in your belief system and mindset and your overall vibration. So you are jumping from 2 months to 1 year to 5 years to 2 hours from now. Time is not going linear. You're jumping to different versions of you located in different so-called time space. Hence, the experience. So coming back to the theme of independence, most of you are noticing that you don't have control over your life. You are experiencing things that you do not wish to experience. Now, before 2020, things were different because most of you were not experiencing sadness, desperation, anxiety on a day-to-day basis like you do right now. So, the more there is uncertainty, the more you will want to control the future, to control what you can. And there is nothing wrong with that. However, control and trust are the two opposite things in the same spectrum. Trust is faith in yourself, faith in God that things will work out, whereas control is on the opposite side, which comes from fear that things are not in your control. You don't know how things are going to be. Things are uncertain, and you don't believe God loves you or God is on your side. So you may want to control things, do what you can, notwithstanding what may happen. So you are on the spectrum of trust. On one end, there is faith and trust. The other end is control. So having this realization is enough for you to take the next action, because moving towards trust is easy. It makes your life easier. Things just happen. Manifestations become faster, easier, smoother. You are not thinking about manifesting what you want because you are simply in a state of flow, relaxation, at inner peace, and you're simply doing what you want to do at that moment. You are not worried about the future because you have this inherent sense of trust that things are going to work out all right. Now, that is a good to have state. However, we understand not many of you can or are in a situation to experience that, and it is understandable. So while you do mindset work, shadow work, limiting belief work, trauma work, or whatever inner work that you wish to do to heal yourself, to move closer towards that state of being of trust, remember that cannot be faked. You cannot simply talk yourself out of it using affirmations. Those last for short periods of time, and then you'll be back to that same state of uncertainty. So take whichever means you can to shift towards trust. And we will also give you a permission slip, what to do to move towards that state. But that is true independence. You are not dependent on circumstances anymore. You are not dependent on people or external situations anymore. You are completely free to do whatever you wish. Complete, total freedom. That is what independence is. So we hope we have clarified what true freedom and true independence means. And now we are open to questions.
Can you describe in your positions what is God and what is God like, and how do you describe God?
So for us, since we are angelic beings, we are extensions of God. We are connected to God, and we know that we operate from that perspective. Unlike humans who have forgotten their connection with God, we remember our connection. Now, the concept of God is experienced differently by different beings. You will experience God through the lenses of your belief system. Even if you are doing shamanic journeys, even if you are doing astral projections, even if you are lucid dreamings, or whichever way you wish to experience source through meditation or what have you, you will experience what is more in line with your belief system. For us, we know source will show up in whichever way we want it. Because remember, in quantum science, the observer affects the outcome. So God shows up in a way that is in alignment with who we are and what we understand as source. So we do not experience God physically. We experience God within ourselves as a constant beating, as a constant connection, as a constant knowing, a constant part of ourselves. It is not a separate experience like most of you will have, where you see a separation between you and God. That is not for us. We are gods, and we are also angels, because God is within us, we are within God. It's interconnected.
Does God has some goal, like why he created this universe, and what is it all for?
To know itself. To know itself fully, but that is ironically and paradoxically not possible, because God is infinite, so there is no end to knowing itself. Most of you think that knowing yourself is like a finite process after which it's over. You can never stop knowing yourself because there is no end to you, just like source. So source, when was created, or rather the illusion of creation, because source was always there. When source wanted to experience the individuality of knowing itself, source split itself into multiple versions of itself and used a mirror of the physical reality to reflect back what it is. It's like source trying to create a mirror to see its whole body, but no mirror is sufficient because source is infinite. So that's a never-ending process. Everything in existence is a reflection of source, and source understands itself by being it through its own unique perspective. The consciousness of a molecule is not going to be the same as a consciousness of a dewdrop or a human. Each expresses consciousness in a different way. And that's how source gets to know itself, who it is, from every minute aspect to major aspects.
How does God connect to time? You're saying we are jumping now from time in timelines. How is it connected, God to time, in any way?
So time is a construct that becomes relevant for three-dimensional beings. Any three-dimensional being comes under the influence of time because time is the fourth dimension. So God is everything, source is everything. Everything is made up of source. So time is how you perceive your existence when you're operating in 3D. The moment you move to 5D, you won't experience time because time is contained within the fifth dimension. So you will not experience time the way you do anymore. You will move above and beyond time.
So what is the fifth dimension? If force is time, so what is the fifth?
Different dimensions are different levels in which God wants to experience itself. Those are, let's just say, different ways of looking at itself. There are infinite dimensions. So fifth is one of them. What else would you like to know about the fifth dimension?
Like you say, we live in 3 dimensions. We understand it's a height, but what does it do, fifth dimension? What options are open in there? Like what does it give you? Sorry, I'm not able to say in proper English.
When you say, what does it give you? Are you talking from a human perspective?
No, not necessarily. You can say from your perspective.
For us, it will be different. For you, it will be different. For us, fifth is much lesser. We view fifth dimension as very differently than how you would view fifth dimension, because we are 15 dimensional being. So think of 3 dimension as length, breadth, height, depth, fourth being the time, and fifth is the spirit, which is beyond time, the astral realm. So in terms
Okay.
of benefit, you exist in the astral realm just like any other being does. You are always present. You have a consciousness there. Many of you who experience astral projection, out of body experiences, you get to go into the fifth dimension where manifestations are instant because there is no time, there is no density. If you think something, it immediately manifests. That's the only human equivalent that we can talk about right now.
Okay, so if you want to manifest something in this life, in this world, in our dimensions, we do need to reach that level of fifth dimension to able to manifest something.
Could you repeat the question again?
See, you say we are humans limited by our three-dimension world, right? So if you want to manifest something here, like instantly, like in this world, what is the tools of doing it? Do we need to reach fifth dimension for that, or we can within our tools?
No, you don't need to be fifth dimensional to experience that. The laws of physics in 3D are intentionally made to slow down because most of you are physical beings. Solidification is a slow process. Materialization is a so-called slow process because 3D is contained within the 4D container. So you will experience time. You cannot skip it because you are in 3D. So when it comes to manifestations, the fastest way would be to have your belief system align with it. Whatever you wish to manifest, if you subconsciously believe that it is possible to you right now, then it will manifest right now. But most of you do not have that awareness of your subconscious mind of what conflicts exist, what you believe, what you don't believe, which is why it gets harder. So if you want to really speed up your manifestations, you need to get to know yourself much more. Know yourself deeply. How are you limiting yourself? What do you think is possible? What do you think is not possible at a deeper subconscious level? So knowing yourself is not about simply knowing what you like, what you dislike. Knowing yourself is knowing subconsciously who you are.
What are the tools to know yourself better?
There are so many. There are so many. You can start with therapy because many people on earth find therapy to be in alignment with belief systems. There are specific tools in different kinds of therapy that allows you to do so. It leads to self-discovery, unlike many people who think we just need one therapy session and get done with it. So that is not how you approach this self-discovery. It's a continuous process, just like you would meditate every day to develop yourself. Similarly, inner work is also a continuous process. Learn some methods, some tools, some emotional regulation, self-compassion, whichever aligns with your belief system to move towards that. So now we would like some more questions related to the topic, which is freedom and independence. So Roman, do you have any questions?
Yes, I do have a question. In terms of freedom of choice and freedom to experience things, what I have known in the past, what I learned in the past is that, if my understanding is correct, that, and also you said that the source is experiencing itself through our individuality. So in that sense, where is that line of freedom? We obviously appear, or we manifest in these bodies, right, as babies, and there's a certain theme that we have chosen, or the source has chosen for this life. Some chose to experience war, some chose to experience hunger, poverty, some chose to experience luxury, right? So where is that? Was it our choice? Was it the source's choice? And if we don't like what we experience, how can we change that fully, or can we not change that fully? And where are those boundaries?
So there are many questions within the main question. So we are going to take one question at a time. So we'll first address about the themes. So the themes are not poverty, suffering, or the things you mentioned. Those are the things that you experience when you are in the physical realm. The themes that most of you choose are more positive in nature. Say, for example, those who have chosen or experiencing poverty, you have chosen the theme of abundance. For those who have experiencing powerlessness, you have chosen the theme of power. For those who are experiencing a lot of unkindness in their life, cruelty, your theme is kindness and mercy. So how will you know what your theme is if you don't experience the opposite of that? Think of it in this way. If there was no darkness, there was only light, 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 light everywhere, you wouldn't know that is light. There wouldn't be a term to even describe that is light because you don't know what darkness is. In order to experience light, you need to see darkness. Or if there was only darkness, 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 and nothing else, then you wouldn't even know what is light. For you, that's the new normal. So the themes that are chosen are to experience specific aspects of source, like abundance, like love, like mercy, like power. And those choices are made by the independent souls. And whatever the independent souls choose are always in alignment with what source wants, because no matter what any soul chooses, that will still allow source to experience itself. So source doesn't have any preference. Source can experience itself in any way, in anything. So it doesn't really matter to source what the soul chooses. The soul is allowed to choose anything, anything that the soul wants. So these are the choices. The idea is through the reflection of the opposite of who you are, you get to realize that you are not that. Through the reflection of the opposite, you realize who you are. So that is how you're experiencing, or rather, source is experiencing itself. Source's perspective and your perspective will be different. You are only seeing, say, poverty, or say, lack of power, or say, lack of kindness. But there are many observers beyond you who is absorbing you and observing what you are experiencing. To them, you are love, you are power, you are abundance. To source, you are that. And when you are experiencing the limitations, all of us are confounded. It's like, why is abundance asking they don't have money and that they are experiencing poverty? Abundance has it. So when we look at you, we can already see that you have what you seek. Within you, you have the power, you have the capability to seek what you want. The external limitation was to make this game more exciting so that you realize what you are capable of through experiencing the hardship. This is why you have chosen your physical reality. So if you pick a specific theme, then we can explore that in depth to give you examples how to overcome it.
Not sure how to define it. I can only talk about myself, for example. In terms of manifestation of wealth, or yeah, that'd be the primary. I'm not sure what topic have I chosen, but yeah, there are a lot of hardships. I'm not thinking. I've always felt there was a divine intervention or support, but yet it's kind of difficult. It's kind of annoying that it's never ending. It's not exciting for me to be in this kind of situation. So I'm trying to understand where is here how much I can influence it, because what I have done so far, it has not influenced it. So yes, there are ups and downs, and ups are okay, but downs are not okay. But where is that? How to level it? How to make it more exciting? Is it just is it only a change of perspective, seeing it like, okay, it's not good, but okay, I agree with myself that it's good or it's okay, and then I just go through that down until there's another up.
So there are a couple of things, and this is part of what we were discussing today when it comes to the illusion of limitation and true independence. So you will always experience obstacles and challenges in the physical reality. And the simplest thing to remember is you are what you seek. Now, how do you translate that into real life actions? So if you are seeking wealth, then you already have the capability to earn it. The only reason you might not be able to earn it is, or could be, because either you have inner conflicts where one part of you wants to earn wealth in this way, whereas your natural inclination, which would easily get you wealth, is through a different way, but either you don't know that or there is a resistance to that, which could also be an interference from your belief system, which is why we always ask you to do the inner work to identify and to work on those limitations. The second way you could be stopping yourself could be giving up before you even reach that point, because as in three-dimensional reality, things may take a little bit of more time, or it may appear through a different way, and you are too impatient for it to manifest, so you give up in the middle of the process. The third is simply not trusting yourself enough that you can do it, that you can manage it. So all these things may sound more theoretical, and we understand that. So whenever you are stuck, ask yourself, what am I focusing on right now? That's the first question to ask. What am I focusing on? Am I focusing on the wealth, or am I focusing on the obstructions or the obstacles to wealth? Now, if you cannot shift your attention away from the obstacle to the wealth, then you will be manifesting only what you focus on, which is the obstacle. Now, sometimes you may need or want or desire to remove the obstacle because that could be part of your soul's growth. So in that case, go fully into the obstacle to do whatever you can, whatever you know, to remove it. And then you might come over or come across another obstacle or a different situation, and you might work through that, and something else comes up. Then you might decide after 3 failures that maybe that is not your path. So you will take a different path. So in this process, you are evolving, learning what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And in that process, you are discovering yourself. So this journey is how source is experiencing itself, who it is, because every action you take defines who it is, from what intention you are taking. Does that help?
It perhaps gives a little more wider or understanding, but it doesn't make it easier. So it is clear. Well, for example, I'll ask it in the form of question. Where is the freedom of exit? Say I'm fed up with it, and I want exit. I want to continue with it. It's just annoying. I've had enough. I'm 50 years old. When is this struggle going to end? And this is maybe me giving up like halfway, but it's just been annoying. I'm not excited about this journey, about this struggle.
So then what excites you right now? That is your exit.
Many things are, well, not many, but some things are excited, but they're out of reach. Say I want to travel, but I can't because I need money.
So what can
I
you
want to
do right
relax.
now, which does not require money or does not create any limitation?
I'm exploring that. So obviously I do what I can do. And but there are other things that I want to do, but I cannot.
Okay.
So I'm wondering.
What is an exit according to you?
End of life, maybe.
But here you are. You have not exited from life yet. Yes. So probably your higher self is not done living.
Probably not. I'm just pondering on that, and I'm thinking of other people who surround me. I don't want to make them upset. If I'm fed up with it and they are attached to me, my parents, for example, or people around me, my partner, like I don't want to upset them, and not that I'm fully done. I guess I probably not, because it's, I mean, I don't want it to be unbearable. I'm not making it unbearable, but yet I'm just fed up. Nothing is so much interesting, exciting, because what is exciting is out of reach.
So you are focusing more on the things that are out of reach than what is right here, right now. It is difficult, we presume, for you to see what you can do right now to feel slightly better. Sometimes it doesn't have to be a long shot or a moonshot goal. Sometimes it can be something very simple in the here and the now.
I enjoy sunrise and sunset every day, and I get joy.
So let's start there.
Me.
So think of the sunrise, maybe make time for watching a sunrise tomorrow when the sun rises, and feel better for that short window when you're watching the sunrise, and simply bask in it, because you can always worry about the things that are not in your control all the time. So that for small moments, you can tell yourself, okay, I'll worry after this, after I enjoy the sunrise, and simply enjoy the sunrise. When you get yourself into that state of being, of peace or contentment or whatever you experience at that moment, while watching the sunrise will inspire you will give you ideas to do something completely random that may not make sense to you. Follow that. Follow that excitement, follow that idea at that moment, whatever it arises. Sometimes it can arise after you have experienced the sunrise. And you might feel like, oh, I feel like just going for a walk. Something that you may not have ever done. But at that moment, that idea comes up. So just go for a walk. So given you may have household duties or work duties, whatever, what have you, it might be difficult to hold on to that excitement for longer periods of time and simply follow it wherever it goes. But if you did follow from one excitement to the other in small, simple ways by doing small, simple things, just which gives you joy just for the moment, it will have a snowball effect. It will build up. And if you could follow throughout the day, by the end of the day, you will have something of value, which is tremendous amount of gratitude, or probably the next idea that can bring you wealth, who knows? But whatever it is, you will remember that day, and that will motivate you to create more days like that, which will again have a snowball effect, and it will build up, build up, build up, build up. So the way you are thinking that I need wealth is probably not the way it's going to come, which is why you are experiencing frustration. The way you want to travel may not be the way it may come. It might manifest in a completely weird, different way that you cannot even think of. So focusing on the how takes you off the track, and which is why we were talking about trust and control. Trust can be hard and difficult, but you can build it in small moments like these by building it up, by trusting that moment, whatever you experience and whatever comes up at that moment. I may want to do something else that gives me joy and go do that. And once you are bored, you feel like, no, something else would give me joy at that moment, go do that. And you will not be able to imagine in which ways what you desire will manifest, because now you are going with the flow. Now you are not resisting. So the moment you enter a state of flow, you move from control to trust. So what we are doing is gently pushing you towards trust by trusting this moment that you do have what you need to experience joy. You don't need money or external items for that. Just follow the trail of what gives you joy at this moment and just follow whatever comes up from that joy. Is it making sense?
It does make sense. And I
But
have there's no but. I'm just wondering if it's going to change the theme that I chose before coming into this world. Say I manifest abundance, or is it possible to manifest so much abundance that is going to change my theme? Or how much of the manifestation is in my
what
control?
is your theme? What do you believe to be your theme, and why do you want to change it?
Interesting. I haven't taken time to define it in that way, but I believe what I chose as my theme is opposite of abundance. Well, not maybe abundance, but opposite of so I'm losing things, so to say. So things are not stable, things are not
Because you are trying to hold on to it.
obviously, because I'm losing them. It gives me tremendous amount of wisdom. I do recognize that, but I'm unhappy with obviously I guess I cannot have both.
What
But
kind of things are you losing? Is it physical, material things, or people, or something
no, I
non-material?
haven't lost people. It's mainly the material that I am unable to manifest.
Okay.
So that is my theme. I believe that might be my theme.
That is not your theme, and we would have loved to explore this in a independent session. We would like to stick to our theme today and questions for our theme today. So we feel that this is something you can explore separately on a different session, on an individual session. So do you have any questions related to the topic of independence and the limitation, the illusion of limitation?
Can we just sort of make summarize, if I may summarize what I've heard, and so that could be a question, or maybe you could correct me if I'm wrong. Can we do that?
Go ahead.
What I understood from this transmission, or the last part of it, is that if we, to simplify it, stay positive, and if we see abundance in poverty, or opposite, if we see good in bad, and we stick to that positive feeling, that we would manifest essentially what we are striving for. So there is a freedom in that sense.
So what you are summarizing is what we shared for you when it came to manifestation. The summarization of our theme and the topic was different. So what would you like to touch upon?
Maybe Lena has a better question.
You're talking about limitations. Like is it all fake ideas of limitations, or there is a truly existing some limitation?
What do you mean by fake limitations?
Like what to say, for example, I want to fly. Can I fly? Like in my dreams, I fly all the time. It's so easy and so possible. But in real life, I don't feel like it's possible. So is it truly limitation?
Have you read about masters who have achieved levitation?
I mean, I heard they exist. But I never seen anyone doing it in reality.
Because you don't know the right method or the technique.
Okay, so you want to say there are no limitations. Everything is possible. That's what you want to say?
We are simply answering your question about flying. So what is your question?
So my question is like when we dream, our dream is so free. You can dream of so many things and everything like possible, even like changing matter, manifesting matter, or I don't know, like flying. You already reply. Moving, yeah, I know things exist. So like moving things, manifesting things. So why cannot we do it? Like some people can and some people cannot.
Because of illusion of limitation.
So it
That's
is illusion.
The whole point. That's the whole point. If you already knew that you can do everything, then you will remember your source, and then you will not need a physical life. Then you will simply want to exit. You will be like, oh, I can do everything. Why am I here? What's the point?
Okay.
Interesting, because I'm the opposite. I cannot do anything. Why am I here?
Is that true?
No, it's not true. But things that I would want to, they're too difficult. I mean,
Is that
is
true?
in a way, for me, yes, sometimes for sure, depending on my mood and my frequency on
Have you
a certain
tried
day.
different ways?
It seems I've tried everything possible to me. I haven't tried everything, but the things that I could try, I did. Maybe there are more things that I could try,
Maybe
but
you
it's
have settled for some inherent limitation that is not even there, and you believe you can't even explore that, and that is what is stopping you, but you don't know that. You feel that that road is blocked, but that's probably open, but you didn't even go there. And you're looking at a room without looking at the door, and you're saying, I am blocked on all sides. Have you turned and seen that there is a door open?
I believe that could very well be the case.
That is always the case. This is the process of self-discovery. Your successes in life is completely directly tied to your self-discovery. If you believe, even artificially, that I can get what I want, the door will appear. It was there all along, but you didn't notice it because you did not believe in it, which is why we ask you to do a lot of mindset work, belief work. But even if artificially you believed that if I really desire this, then there must be a way, and probably I've not thought about it yet, or it didn't occur to me yet, it will appear. If you keep believing and telling yourself that, that door will appear. You're focusing on the obstacle over and over again, over and over again, over and over again. You are focusing on what's not there. You're focusing on what's difficult. You're focusing on what you can't do instead of what you can do, what is already available, what you really want. And how can you get there from where you are with whatever you have instead of focusing on the things you don't have?
So is there absolute freedom in this case for us, even if we chose a certain theme? There is.
There is freedom. That's the whole point of this transmission. The illusion of limitation will always exist. And that's the whole point, to keep you in the game, to experience whatever you wish to experience. But you can lift the veil by telling yourself, I am free to choose whatever I want. And the way will appear. You have to focus on that first. That in itself will require some training on your thoughts, because you keep going back to the lack, the difficulty, the obstacle, what is not there. Focus on what you can have, what you do have, what you want.
I have a question about trust, which you're talking. Oh, Roman, you didn't finish yet?
No, go ahead.
So what do you talk about trust? Trust to God and just let it flow, or you trust the God and you try to do what you want to manifest? Or like
That is a
basically
very good question. That is a very good question, because most of you get stuck in this. Most of you cannot decide between, does trusting mean just it will happen and do whatever I want? Or does trusting mean just trusting and then waiting? Is that what you mean? Is that what your question is?
Yes, exactly.
So the answer is this: trust that it's going to manifest and do whatever you please at that moment without thinking about what you want it to manifest. Desire it, think about it. Oh, I want this. I want a beautiful house. And you dream about it, how the house is going to look from this side. What am I going to hang here? How the colors are going to be? What will I paint here? Dream about it and then do whatever you feel like doing at that moment. Just do. Maybe you are cooking and thinking about your house. Or right now I feel like just listening to music or just going to my work or doing something else. If you feel like, oh, I want that house and I want to take some steps towards it, whether or not there is an outcome. So don't insist on the outcome. The point is just take the step and hope and trust that it's going to work out. The result may not come from the step you took. This is where expectation, insistence, and problems come with manifestation. You insist that this step has to lead to the next step. It may not. Something completely random may take you there, not what you did. So the trust and faith is to trust that it may come up in some way. It may not be what I think. I may not know the how, but it will happen. So I will just take one step towards it and see what happens. Does it take you closer? Oh, yes, I feel excited. Let's take the next step. And in the third step, you might be completely obstructed. Then tell yourself, I trust it's going to happen. So if I'm obstructed here, maybe this is not the path. Maybe I have to do something else, or maybe it will come through something else. So if you feel demotivated, then stop thinking about it. Do something that you enjoy. Come back to it later. It's the insistence. No, it has to happen right away, which delays the manifestation. When you enter the state of flow, things become faster. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
I have a follow-up question in this regard.
We are not going to take any more questions about manifestation. We want to be very clear about that.
Absolutely. I hope it's not, but this is something about you mentioned, or I believe I heard it this way. I want to ask, where is that thin line about giving up or going through the obstacles? Like seeing the obstacles and trying another way and giving up. Where is that thin line? That's what you mentioned right now, if I heard it right.
We mentioned about doing something else instead of butting your head against the obstacle.
But isn't this wouldn't that be a giving up? What you mentioned earlier, that we give up in the middle of the process.
Giving up, what are you giving up? You are giving up your method through which you thought it will manifest, but you are not giving up the whole idea of, say, owning a house. You still have the idea that I'll still have a house and I trust and have faith that it will happen. It's just that the method I was trying is not going to work out. So give up on the method. Give up on the insistence that this will work. Not the idea, the objective, the goal. Is it making sense?
Oh yeah. Thank you for explanation. Yes, it totally makes sense.
Yes, with this, we would like to end this session. We hope that we have given you enough idea about the illusion of limitation and what true freedom and trust looks like. And of course, we discussed a lot about manifestation, which is somewhat also tied to this because most humans would always want to bring the ideas closer to their physical reality. So we understand that. So with this, we wish you a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.